We revisit, we redefined the moment, the game at which the Dayton Wolves and the Honolulu Sharks redefined the AAU War Tour Nationals inside the AAU War Tour League. Dayton, Ohio will never be the same again. The number 4 seeded Dayton Wolves taking on the Honolulu Hammerheads right here live in the jungle tonight, 9 Eastern, 5 Hawaiian, only on AAU War Tour Radio.
And welcome back to the studios, ladies and gentlemen. We are live yet again inside the AAU War Tour League. As you know, it is almost time for Tipoff. The number 4 seeded Dayton Wolves taking on the Honolulu Hammerheads tonight right here live on AAU War Tour Radio. These two teams, of course, have history in the making. Kate Remy, myself, Eddie Turner always to my right. And these two met 1 year ago, Eddie, in 2016. It was the 2017 AAU War Tour National Tournament. The Dayton Wolves and the Honolulu Sharks, who were called at the time, which is, of course, the Honolulu Hammerheads, did battle in a best-of-3 series. The Dayton Wolves lost the first one, 67-74. Miller, the birthday boy. Happy birthday yet again to C. Miller, as he paved the way. 32 points in that game, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals with 2 blocks. He did a fantastic job all night. Of course, he was the top player of the night, but the Dayton Wolves fell in the first game. Then they went to the jungle in the game 2, and the Dayton Wolves held on to force game 3 back here. Back live in Honolulu, Hawaii, where the Dayton Wolves won in the Stan Sheriff Center. It was a fantastic night. We're going to go into some stats later on, but this right here is the definition of the Southwestern Conference Championship. Of course, the Dayton Wolves coming into this game on a 5-game winning streak, looking to make it 6 if they can possibly beat the Honolulu Hammerheads tonight, Eddie. I already know who you're going for. You already know who I'm going for. But, of course, the Honolulu Hammerheads has an opportunity of stepping up their game tonight, not only in front of this Dayton crowd, but, of course, against the top-seeded, the powerful, the mighty number 4 seeded Dayton Wolves.
Okay, that's a big F for me. The Dayton Wolves has been playing fundamental basketball in the last 5 games. As you can see, they are on a 5-game winning streak. And Miller, of all people, Miller had his best game so far in his career in this season so far with a triple-double his last game against Triple Threat in Pennsylvania. The Dayton Wolves star 36 points, 14 rebounds, 12 assists, continue to light up. And what made it even spectacular, Kate, is the Dayton Wolves won it in overtime. That has been the most fantastic game we have ever seen Miller play. But of course, he's coming into this game. I mean, the Dayton Wolves really not worried about the Honolulu Hammerheads, but of course, tonight is a special night for the Dayton Star. This is his first time performing, his first time playing on his birthday, and of course, they go up against the Honolulu Hammerheads. It's been a fantastic night, Kate. We've seen our first annual floating lantern ceremony, as well as we still have the firework display that will be for the tip-off presented by Honolulu, Hawaii. But of course, it will be for the birthday of the Dayton Star, Chance Miller, later on in the show, because it goes along with our theme song of the night. Of course, we already mentioned it before. We give a big ups to Carly Rae Jepsen for her amazing track of Run Away With Me. You will be hearing this all night long. I'm sure you have been hearing it all day. But of course, tonight it is time to cut to the chase. The talking is aside. The preparations are done, Kate. It is time for the Dayton Wolves to battle the Honolulu Hammerheads in a Southwestern Conference Championship rematch.
It's sure to be a fantastic game, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, again, thank you to all the AAU War Tour fans out there. We have sold out the UD Arena, the jungle, for this game yet again. But please, continue to tune in wherever you are right now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to this game. This will be a fantastic game in our opinion, although the Dayton Wolves will win it. But this should be a fantastic game to see what the Honolulu Hammerheads have in store so far this season. Because, I mean, like we already figured out, Eddie, the Dayton Wolves and the Honolulu Hammerheads, they are spread out on the ranks. The Dayton Wolves are number 4, Honolulu Hammerheads number 33. The Honolulu Hammerheads are 8-16 of the season. 8-16 of the season. But of course, we have second half of the season that we are getting prepared for, because the 20 to 30 games deducting off every schedule will be around the corner. But of course, the Dayton Wolves has 7 more home games before we encounter that break of action. But the Dayton Wolves going up against the Orlando Chaos in the next meet. They also will be playing Park City Stingers at home, as well as Chicago Lockdown at home. And then again, we look forward to another top-ranked duel, top-ranked battle as the Dayton Wolves will be going up against the number 3 seeded, I believe, number 3 seeded Greenwood Elite, or they're number 3 at the moment, so it will be a number 3 versus number 4 match. I believe so. We will check that out when the time comes. But it's going to be a fantastic night, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we have the pregame playlist presented by Radio Heaven's Underground Music coming at you in just a short while. But we're going to jump back into the first game, game 1 of the Southwestern Conference Championship, when the Dayton Wolves took on the Honolulu Hammerheads. We've already set the stats for Chance Miller, the birthday boy. Again, happy birthday to Chance Miller, as February 23rd will be a remarkable time. The Dayton Wolves can also go on a 6-game winning streak before they are back at home against the Orlando Chaos in the next couple of weeks. Dayton Wolves star 32.6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. In the game 1, 12 of 24 from the field goals, 4 of 15 from the 3-point line, and 4 of 6 from the free throw line. You also have Mike Wells also down there with the Dayton star Chance Miller, number 2 on the top 3 key players for game 1, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists for Mike Wells, and of course Chris Johnson rounding off the top 3, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, and he shot 3 of 5 from the field goals all night long inside. The Dayton Wolves shot at a 44% from the field in game 1, which is 31 of 61. 31 made shots, 61 attempts. The Dayton Wolves shot at a 44% from the field goals, 4 of 9 from the 3-point field goals, and 80%, which is 8 of 10 from the free throw line. And that will do it for the Dayton Wolves. Now we go. Well, first of all, Eddie, judging from the stats that we just witnessed, the 31 of 61, 44% for the Dayton Wolves as a group, 4 of 9 from the 3-point line, which is also an amazing stat, shooting above 50 from beyond the 3-point line, and 80% from the field from the free throws. How in the world did the Dayton Wolves possibly let down the ball in game 1 to lose to the Honolulu Sharks, which were called at the time 67-74?
Well, Kate, you got to understand, at this time, Chance Miller's Baller for Brie effect was going global. It was already nationwide, but at the moment, it was going global. That was the first time the Dayton Wolves stepped in the region of Hawaii, Honolulu, Hawaii. That was the first time, and of course, the Honolulu community put together. We witnessed our first floating lantern ceremony, which really shook the core of the AAU World Tour League. I mean, the Baller for Brie effect was much more than what everybody thought. Just because every city, every state that the Dayton Wolves stepped in, they knew who it was, they knew who the star player was, and they knew the effect. Every city, every state, Kate. And just going to the Honolulu community, I mean, it was just a breathtaking moment. I think everybody was so starstruck on what happened, the effect that happened. And you got to understand, at the time, the Dayton Wolves was on a 4-game winning streak. They was on a 4-game winning streak. First round, they defeated the Sacramento Fury. Second round, they defeated the Central City Knights 2-0. And then they faced off against the Honolulu Hammerheads, a team that they really didn't have no knowledge of. And when they faced them, they thought, I'm sure that, C. Miller, as well as Manny Reeves, who was playing at the time, as well as Mike Wells and everyone else, I'm sure they was like, we got this. This is our time. This is our game. We're the back-to-back Southwestern Conference champions, and we're going to go on. This is our year. We're going to go on to face the Lake Erie Monsters. C. Miller was all for it. He had his mindset on Cameron Cate. He had his mindset on Cameron Cate, but Brandon Rush, in the middle of it all, first game, round 1, Brandon Rush came in and completely annihilated, put to waste the Dayton Wolves' dream, as well as C. Miller's dream of a 2-0 sweep. And therefore, the Dayton Wolves had to buckle down. They had to realize that no matter what week, no matter what day, no matter what game, anything is possible in the AAU World Tour League. And Brandon Rush made it quite clear. He came in, he prevailed on what he was planning to do. He stopped Miller, although he did score 36 points in the first game. I mean, 32 points in the first game in round one. Brandon Rush was still in there, as well as Timmy Taylor and everyone else. Ricky Evans, and they came in and they completely stopped the Dayton Wolves in their tracks, and they made them realize that, hey, we're not Central City, we're not Sacramento. We will give you a fight. You are in our city, you are in our state, our region, whatever you want to call it. You are here. You are in the Hawaiian city. So tonight, I'm asking the Dayton Wolves to come out there. I'm asking Honolulu actually to come out there too and give us the Southwestern Conference Championship best of 3 game that we witnessed. We witnessed in game 3, went into overtime. We'll get into that later. Went into overtime, but of course, game 2 was the start for the Dayton Wolves. I mean, that's when they first brought out the war chant. They made it seem like they were Hawaiian that night. Game 2, and the Dayton Wolves prevailed, and they went on to face the Lakers Monsters. But a lot of things was going on for the Dayton Star at that point. So, as well as the Dayton Wolves. So, I wouldn't doubt that the Dayton Wolves thought they already had that in the bag before they even stepped on the court.
And now we're going to look at game 2, the Dayton Wolves inside the jungle, right where we are sitting right now in the studios. The Dayton Wolves won it 73-65. And of course, the Dayton Wolves started off that game with a 12-4 run. And you can thank Manny Reeves, who bombed 3 threes in a row to jump out on that run. Chance Miller, of course, leading the Wolfpack, 23 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks. At the end of the game, 9 of 18 from the field goals, 5 of 8 from the 3-point line. Of course, Manny Reeves, number 2, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 blocks, 5 of 11 shooting from the field goals, 1 of 4 from beyond. And of course, Chris Johnson, the big man who shut Timmy Taylor down that night, in everyone's opinion, did a fantastic job on the low block. 9 points, finished with that game, 7 rebounds, cleaning up everything down in the presence. Anything in his presence, he was grabbing, Eddie. 3 assists, 3 of 4 from the field goals, and 3 of 4 from the free throw line. The Dayton Wolves did spectacular that night. Of course, Chris Johnson was the one to stand out in everyone's opinion down in the low block. Timmy Taylor finished with 13 points in game 1. He was held to 6 points in game 2. 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, as well as 3 of 11 shooting. 3 of 11 from the field goals. Brandon Rush, who has had his time with Chance Miller, led his team, led the Sharks with 15 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 6 of 10 from the field goals, as well as 1 of 2 from beyond, and a perfect, 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Lance Hopkins, who we haven't heard all night long, he was also in the top 3 for the Honolulu Hammerheads. 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, a perfect 5 of 5 from the field goals, and 2 of 3 from the 3-point line. So that was the top 3 for the Honolulu Hammerheads, as well as the Dayton Wolves. The Dayton Wolves shot amazingly from the field goals, 29 of 56 as a group. Not spectacular, but the Dayton Wolves needed that so far. The Dayton Wolves did a fantastic job, in my opinion, of coming out and connecting, captivating on the victory to force game 3. 47% shooting from the field goals, as well as the Honolulu Sharks. 27 of 55 from the field, 49%, as well as 29%, 2 of 7 from the 3-point line. The Dayton Wolves won it 73-65, forcing game 3 back in Honolulu, Hawaii. I mean, the thought in the mind of Chance Miller leading his team, 1 win away from competing in the national championship. Everyone talked about the Chance Miller winning MVP that year. Winning MVP. He had his stats that was remarkable at the time, but of course he ran into that barricade by the name of Cameron Caden in the national championship. But the Dayton Wolves and the Lakers Monsters did battle in Las Vegas, Nevada. It was a perfect game for the Dayton Wolves. 6 was the magic number, as we seen, of course, Eddie, but as many read in the article, we waited on that game for a very long time, but finally the Dayton Wolves and the Lake Erie Monsters did battle. Of course, going on, the Honolulu Sharks, which is now called the Honolulu Hammerheads, and they gave praise to the Dayton Wolves as well as Chance Miller, rooting for the Dayton Wolves and Chance Miller to win it all. But the Dayton Wolves fell just a little bit short, 2 points short, and it was off of one play that has torn Miller up from the championship game to now. A new season tore Miller apart.
Okay, if you're the point guard, if you're the team captain of a basketball group, a basketball organization, and you was this close, just an inch close, just 5 seconds close from your first national championship, and you continue running a full court press. Well, was it man to man? I don't believe. Point blank of the period is, listen, the Dayton star Chance Miller got an inbound pass from Chris Johnson at the free throw line, buried the shot. Dayton Wolves take a 1-point lead with just a few seconds left on the shot clock. A quick timeout to get the Dayton Wolves minds bubbling, resulted in Lake Erie Monsters, which Ashley Davis was not playing at the time. He is new to the Lake Erie Monsters and has done a fantastic job for the Lake Erie Monsters, but I don't remember who it was at the time. Evidently, he didn't make an impact that bad for us to remember, but he passes the ball in. Well, he really doesn't pass the ball in, Kate. He lobs it up to the center of the Lake Erie Monsters, and he crams it home without 1 second coming off the shot clock. Now that I think about it, I believe it was 2.9 seconds left on the shot clock, Kate, and the Lake Erie Monsters pulled that off. Therefore, the Lake Erie Monsters went up 95-94, and the Dayton Wolves was fresh out of timeouts, and the Dayton Wolves lost at 94-95, which was a heartbreaker for Chance Miller. As you've seen in the article, the pitcher spoke 1,000 words. Everyone says that a pitcher speaks 1,000 words. Well, that night in Las Vegas, Nevada, that pitcher spoke 1,000 words. Miller could not believe it that the Dayton Wolves lost the championship, their second championship, just like that, in the nick of 2.9 seconds. But of course, the Dayton Wolves has another opportunity to take the gold, as we are set on the road to crown another War Tour national champion. Who will it be? Of course, the Dayton Wolves will be up on the talk board, on the talking block, as they are the number 4 seeded Dayton Wolves coming into this game. But game 3 for the Dayton Wolves and the Honolulu Hammerheads, Kate, was of course another spectacular game. The Honolulu Sharks, it was called at the moment, we're just going to call them the Honolulu Hammerheads, of course. But the Dayton Wolves and the Honolulu Hammerheads set the tone for War Tour Nationals inside the AAU War Tour League. They did a fantastic job of game 3, but the Dayton Wolves won. But of course, all players did a remarkable job. No one should hang their heads about it. We're in the Hawaii city, in the Hawaiian community, and the Hawaii culture. Still thank the Dayton Wolves for an impressive game, an impressive series, which it was, and that's why this game right now, Kate, February 23rd, the birthday of Dayton star Chance Miller, this game is taking place, and of course the Lake Erie Monsters is looming in the presence, as they will be going up against the Dayton Wolves on Mother's Day 2018. The number 4 seeded Dayton Wolves will be taking on the number 1 seeded Lake Erie Monsters, live right here in the jungle.
And I'm sorry to cut you off, Eddie, but ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to take a break. We've gotten into this whole entire AAU War Tour Nationals. Of course, that is looming in the background, as well as the AAU All-Star Weekend. And of course, later on in the show, I have big news concerning Chance Miller, the birthday boy, in the AAU All-Star Weekend voting poll. So make sure you guys stick around and tune in for that. But of course, we'll be right back live on AAU War Tour Radio. But until then, Radio Heaven's underground music will take us to another zone just before tip-off. It's the number 4 seeded Dayton Wolves taking on the Honolulu Hammerheads. to Jameson Lefway. That's a little straight through. And it's good.
We revisit, we redefined the moment, the game at which the Dayton Wolves and the Honolulu Sharks redefined the AAU War Tour Nationals inside the AAU War Tour League. Dayton, Ohio will never be the same again. The number 4 seeded Dayton Wolves taking on the Honolulu Hammerheads right here live in the jungle tonight, 9 Eastern, 5 Hawaiian, only on AAU War Tour Radio.
Time for haters, I'll see you later. Try to put up barriers, but I never get through the pity fakers. I'm blind to them, yeah, I'm blind to them fake. When they're screaming out your name, everyone in the crowd, you know that you made it. Like a king on a throne, baby, who wear the crown. That's right, you know that you made it. You know that you made it. You made it, you know that you made it. Shots they left me to drown. Stronger than ever, I'm holding my ground. Who's laughing now? Yeah, who's laughing now? When they're screaming out your name, everyone in the crowd, you know that you made it. Like a king on a
song is a message for help on behalf of anybody finding themselves. I wrote this letter to numb your pain, 'cause every day I wake up I'm feeling the same. I got issues just like you got issues. I've been hurt, I've seen the scar tissue. If I showed you, would you run away? Do I gotta hide them for you to wanna stay? Do I even need you? Should I leave you? Do I gotta be you just to please you? Do I say I'm all good when I bleed you through my heart? Quit tearing mine apart.
I swear I get angry, I get scared. I fall, I break, I mess up, I make mistakes. But if you can't take me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best.
Gotta keep it going, gotta keep my head up, gotta keep it going, gotta keep my head up, gotta keep it going, gotta keep my head up, 'cause life is about. Alright, check this out. Look, life is about making mistakes. It's also about trying to be great. Right. Do not let failure scare you away. I know you fed up, you fall, get up. It's all in us. I can speak about it 'cause I did it. True. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the exhibit. It's my life. Look a little closer, you can see the highlights. Gold ain't always golden, but I told him. Look at all the years I've been waiting for a moment. Shed a lot of tears just to smile in the morning. Tell me, could you love me? Tell me, could you love me? Tell me, could you love me if I told you
I swear I get angry, I get scared. I fall, I break, I mess up, I make mistakes. But if you can't take me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best.
Yeah, who feels like I did, never the cool kid.
This song's for anybody
Who fought their way through, always remain true.
This song's for anybody.
The ones who trying to get it, the ones who dreaming and live it.
This song's for anybody.
The song, the song, the song, the song, the song, the song. I swear I do. Yeah. And I ain't sorry about it. Gotta keep it going, gotta keep my head up, gotta keep it going, gotta keep my head up, I gotta keep it going, gotta keep my head up, 'cause life is about.
Is everybody
Welcome back to the studios, ladies and gentlemen. We are again live on AAU World Tour Radio as the number 4 seeded Dayton Wolves getting set to take on the Honolulu Hammerheads in a 2017 AAU World Tour National Southwestern Conference rematch. Southwestern Championship rematch, let's put it that way. A lot has been on the line for these two teams in the past 2 years of AAU World Tour basketball, but the Dayton Wolves prevailed when times got rough, when times were tight between the two teams, of course, in AAU World Tour, the semifinals. We already talked about the first and the second game and the games for these two. Now we're going to jump into some stats coming into this game. Of course, we have huge news concerning Chance Miller and his spot in the AAU All-Star Weekend, but he's coming into this game now 25 points average night in, night out, week in, week out basis. C. Miller is putting up 25 points along with 4.3 rebounds, 9 assists. Just a few more games where he's averaging 10 assists, when he's finishing with 10 assists next 2 to 3 games. Hopefully in the next 7 more games at home, maybe we can see Chance Miller coming into AAU All-Star Weekend, of course, averaging a double-double. 1.3 steals per game, 1.3 blocks per game, 5.2 turnovers per game. He's a 46% field goal shooter as well as now a 38% three-point bomber. Remember, when we first started this season off, the Dayton star Chance Miller was shooting at a 32, between a 32 and a 33% from the three-point land. Now he is shooting at a 38.5%, just almost up past 40. He's trying to lock his spot in at the three-point contest at AAU All-Star Weekend, but we will find out. Again, he's coming off a triple-double against the triple threat from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Eddie. He's coming into this game. We talked about that. 36 points, 14 rebounds, 12 assists. And that alone, ladies and gentlemen, has moved Miller up from the number 7 spot all the way up to number 3 in the AAU All-Star voting polls. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Cameron Caden is locked in at number 2. Chance Miller locked in at number 3. And if these two continue to play like this, Eddie, if they continue to play like this, especially Miller coming off this triple-double, if they continue to play like this, then these two will be starting for the Southwestern Conference at the AAU All-Star Weekend break.
Well, of course, I mean, that's what the fans want. I'm sure they're going to get it because these two have been doing tremendous jobs for both of their crews. Chance Miller coming into this game, his first ever game playing on his birthday, so we get to see his first time performance. The Lakers remarks Cameron Caden as well as Ashley Davis out there. They're on a 12 to 15 game winning streak, so they're on fire right now. The Dayton Wolves looking to make it 6 tonight. You have the Lakers Monsters, who is number 1. You have Greenwood Elite, who's number 2. You have Toronto Terror, who's number 3. You have the Dayton Wolves, who is number 4. And these top 4 teams are doing fantastic jobs. And the Dayton Wolves will be meeting one of these top 4 teams, which is Greenwood Elite, coming up the last game of their 8-game home stretch. It's going to be a fantastic thing. Fantastic game tonight. We get to see. If this was the Southwestern Conference Championship, who would win this time around? Dayton Wolves already back-to-back conference champions. I'm sure they're going to beat them tonight, but of course, Lake Erie Monster, Lake Erie star Cameron Caden, and Dayton star Chance Miller on the same team. That was the plan for this season. I mean, the Dayton Wolves and the Lake Erie Monsters had beef last season, but a switch in conference. Lake Erie Monsters came to the West Conference as well as someone else, I believe City Knight or somebody, went to the Southeast. So, they're making these two players play with each other just to see how dominant they can be with each other. But before the AAU All-Star break, they have to get past one another yet again. Mother's Day 2018 is the Dayton Wolves taking on the Lake Erie Monsters inside the jungle. It's going to be a fantastic month, a fantastic year of AAU World Tour basketball with the World Tour Nationals right around the corner as well.
Alright, and ladies and gentlemen, it's almost time for tip-off. Just 14 more minutes as we're going to go ahead and continue down the line of the top 3 key players for each team coming into this game. We've already said C. Miller, 25 points, 9 assists. He is now number 3 in the AAU All-Star voting polls with 20,000 more votes to put him from number 7 to number 3. We look at Chris Johnson coming into this game, number 23 for the Dayton Wolves, the big man down on the low block. 11.3 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, and he's a 64% field goal shooter as well as a 25% three-point shooter and a 70% free throw shooter. Keith Brown, the second string center for the Dayton Wolves, 9 rebounds per game, 9 points per game, 4.5 rebounds per game, 57% field goal shooter, as well as a 44% three-point shooter and a 97% free throw shooter. We're going to look at the Honolulu Hammerheads now because our time is presslessly ticking down, and we still have that video to show. The Honolulu community, of course, Honolulu, Hawaii, put on yet another firework display to go along with the theme song tonight. We still haven't released the theme song at all either, maybe, so we still have that coming up. As we're going to try to wrap this up. Sammy Bennett for the Honolulu Hammerheads, almost 11 points average night in, night out, 10.8, 2 rebounds per game, as well as 1.5 assists per game. He's a 43% field goal shooter, a 46% three-point bomber, and a 90% free throw shooter. You look at J.J. Ellis coming into this game, 10.5 points average, night in, night out, 2-point rebounds per game, as well as 1.5 assists. He's also a 47% field goal shooter and a 41% three-point shooter and a 75% charity shooter. Now, that would do it for the Honolulu Hammerheads, just 2 this time. Wow, Timmy Taylor's not up there, as well as Brandon Rush. I'm surprised, but maybe we'll see some happening later on in the game. Hopefully Brandon Rush or Timmy Taylor, the 2 that stood out for the Honolulu Hammerheads against the Dayton Wolves in AAU War Tour Nationals, the Southwestern Conference Championship. Those 2 stood out, but those 2 are not on the top 3 key players for the Honolulu Hammerheads coming into this game. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, tip-off set in just a moment. That will do it for us. I'm sorry we really don't have enough time, ladies and gentlemen, because we got to take a break. When we come back, we will be finally revealing the theme song for tonight's game. You've been hearing the instrumental all night long, all day long. We absolutely thought this song was the perfect song for this game, as well as Honolulu, who is putting on a firework display for the Dayton Star, as well as this game and for the Dayton Star's birthday, of course. The video has background music. We're gonna turn it down a little bit just because it's the same song that you're gonna be listening to, but we will turn it up so you can hear some parts and everything else like that, but it goes along with the song, so we're going to turn it down, ladies and gentlemen. When we return right here live on AAU War Tour Radio, it is game time. The number 4 seeded Dayton Wolves taking on the Honolulu Hammerheads right here live in the jungle. The Dayton Wolves, they're going to go on a 6-game winning streak behind the likes of Chance Miller, who is performing his first game on his birthday. Again, February 23rd, 2018, live in the jungle. Happy birthday to the Dayton Star Chance Miller, who's coming off a triple-double. 36 points, 14 rebounds, 12 assists against Triple Threat in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. But now the Dayton Wolves back at home for 8 games straight. And the Dayton Wolves go out on a win, they go out on a run. It all starts tonight, right here live on AAU War Tour Radio. We will talk to you soon, ladies and gentlemen.
Tonight. We redefined the moment, the game, at which the Dayton Wolves and the Honolulu Sharks redefined the AAU War Tour Nationals inside the AAU War Tour League. Ohio will never be the same again. The number 4 seeded Dayton Wolves taking on the Honolulu Hammerheads right here live in the jungle tonight, 9 Eastern, 5 Hawaiian, only on AAU World Tour Radio.
Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind, thinking I can see through this and see what's behind. Got no way to prove it, so maybe I'm lying. But I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. Take a look in the mirror, what do you see? You see it clearer, or are you deceived in what you believe? 'Cause I'm only human after all, and you're only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. Some people got the real problems. Some people out of love. Some people think I can solve them, but Lord heavens above, I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. Don't ask my opinion, don't ask me to lie, and beg for forgiveness for making you cry. For making you cry. 'Cause I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. Oh, some people got the real problem. Some people out of love. Some people think I can solve them. Lord heavens above, I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. I'm only human. I made mistakes. I'm only human. It's all it takes to put the pain on me. Don't put the blame on me. 'Cause I'm no prophet or Messiah. You should go looking somewhere high. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. I'm only human. I do what I can. I'm just a man. I do what I can. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put your blame on me.
weekend, we could turn the world to gold.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have to wrap